All right, guys, I'm going to dive in so we can be effective with our time here. Appreciate the testimonials. I'm going to go over today what I believe could really move the needle in your business, and it's a strategy that encouples a lot of the stuff we do, but most people I feel like miss on a major opportunity. So I'm just gonna walk you through step by step on how I've done it and how I would do it if I were you, if I was in your shoes. Um, but I want you guys to write down. So this is gonna be a little bit of interactive. But I want you to write down how many deals you did last year. All right. So just write down on a piece of paper how many deals you guys did last year, and then how many deals you did the year before. And we'll just keep it at the last 2 years. Not the like some of you guys been in the business for like 20 plus years. So we're not going to go like all the way back to all those clients, but let's just keep it to two, right? How many and then add it up, right? So it could be for some of you, it could be 20 deals. For some of you, it could be 50 deals. Some of you, it could be 5 deals. Like, it doesn't really matter what that number is. I just think it's just good for you to know the math behind what I'm going to say. So every single one of those people, so it should be pretty easy math, but every single one of those people know two people that move a year, right? So just take that total number and times it by two. They know two people that move a year in your market. They know 8 people around the country, but we'll just keep it at two in your market. They know 2 people every year that move in your market. So if every single one of those people, right, passed you, let's just put one deal. If every single one of those people from the last 2 years passed you one deal, would you have a good year or a bad year? Would you have a good Christmas or a bad Christmas? Yeah,
Very
you
good
probably
year,
have a,
very good Christmas.
Good Christmas.
yeah, it'd be great, right? So now it's like, how do we actually get those people to refer you? So I'm going to show you that right now, right? So what I like to do is run a video testimonial with my clients. Okay. So it's a very simple process. I'm going to give you the step by step on how I do it. So what I'll do, because videos consume 60,000 times faster, right? There's a reason why we want you guys to share your guys' testimonials, because it helps us, be able to, one, share this with more people. And two, it's like helping the community know, like, oh, wow, this is working for so and so. I had one guy, on Friday talk about how he closed 4 deals in the last month, and he's gotten like another two under contract, and he's got like 5 people out there looking, and he made 60K on those 4 that he put under contract, or 4 that are closed. And he had to turn off his ads because he was getting too many leads, and he has a small team of 2 people, and he's like, we're just overwhelmed, right? So that's a good place to be. That's a great testimonial, right, for us. So but the truth is all of you guys, that number, right, if you add up just the last 2 years, they all have, um, those are all testimonials sitting there for you, right? And so what I like to do is about right after inspection, right after inspection, and everything's kind of dialed in, appraisals in, all of that, I will do a video testimonial. I'll set it up like we're basically clear to close, so we're about 10 days out, and I will do a Zoom video testimonial with them. Okay. And I will ask these simple questions. Now I'm going to give you these questions so you don't have to write them down, but I want you to hear them and kind of hear the strategy behind it, right? And then I'm going to tell you what we do with them afterwards. So I'm going to send the questionnaire to my client. I'm going to say, hey, I want to jump on and do a video testimonial and just kind of hear about your experience, about how it's been working with us. We're super excited to close the property and kind of get you into the next stages of life. I don't want to do it afterwards just because you're going to be moving and all of the things that are happening. That's just too overwhelming. So I just like getting them out of the way now. Does that sound okay with you? And they'll say, yes, of course, because they will agree with that statement. Okay. And then I'll go in and ask these simple questions. So first, I'll send them the Zoom link. I'll say, hey, this is going to be a video. We want it recorded. Make sure you have your camera on. I don't really care what you look like. Just be authentically yourself. That's the biggest thing. And say, hey, it's just going to be like us having a cup of coffee. We've done this before, so it's nothing like super pressury. I'm going to send you the questions so you can think about them before and just answer to your best ability, right? And the truth is like your clients want to support you. They want to they want to refer you. And the reason why they don't is because they either forget or you're not staying top of mind, all of those things. But this is how you make sure that it always happens. So ask for permission in the video if you can use some of this for your marketing, right? So you want to be like, hey, just want to make sure it's cool if we use this for our marketing. and they're going to give you video. They're going to say yes, of course, right? That's why they got on the call, right? Um, and so you want to make sure you grab attention with relevance and relatability. So let me go ahead and share my screen here. And now it's what you really do with this testimonial is what's going to be the game changer. And I'm going to give you guys all these questions, and you don't have to ask all of them, but it is kind of like a good little like, get their name, where they live, or their business, right? So he's gonna be like, hey, Scott, we know you live in Colorado Springs, and you're a real estate agent. You're mainly work with new construction. You closed 200 and some deals, or you've closed 100 and some deals over the last couple of years. What was your life or business like before working with, and you would say Kyle, or before, and this would be the same thing, like, hey, what was your life like before we actually met, or we listed your property, right? What was the biggest challenge or frustration you were facing with listing your property? And they'll tell you what it was. And then optional, punchy hook. And these are all things that you have to say. You're going to pick the one that you feel like best fits the situation, right? So always lead with the client's pain, and people resonate with most what mirrors their own struggle, right? And so people like pain sells. There's a reason why. It's just the truth. It's the bottom. It's the bottom line, right? So, what was your life or business like? So, in this case, like, hey, what was your life like before listing your property with Kyle? What was the biggest challenge or frustration you were facing when listing your property or buying real estate? Right. So, very simple. Obviously, this can be for any business, but we're tailoring it to real estate, of course. And then, what specific solution or insight made the biggest difference? What was the aha moment during the process? How fast did you see results, right? And so these are all questions that you can ask, like, hey, how fast did we put your house under contract? What was the aha moment during this process, right? And you're going to hear things that you weren't necessarily aware of that add to your value proposition, and you're going to learn to understand your ideal client profile even better, right? If you can do this with like a high-end client, a $1.5 million listing, $2.5 million listing, you're going to really start to understand like their pain points and what they're actually thinking. And this is going to help you close more deals because you're going to actually be able to speak to the pain points of other people who are just like them in their shoes, right? So, what specific results did you achieve? How has your life changed since working with us? Would you have been able to do this on your own? So these are all great questions. You don't have to ask all of them. I would go through and highlight the ones that you like, and you can kind of make it your own. And then what surprised you the most about working with Kyle, or what surprised you the most about working with me, or how did you feel about achieving like selling your house? What did your family or team or friends say about the transformation? Or what was your family saying, like, once we, as we were selling your house, like what was that like? Or what were your friends saying, like, when we put your house under contract for, not double the amount, but when we put it under contract for, $20,000 more, and we're closing in 3 weeks, what did your friends say? Because they know, that they talk to people, right? So you're trying to let the emotion flow. Vulnerability creates trust, right? And then call to belief and say, hey, if someone was on the fence about working with us, what would you tell them, right? So that's a great question. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. It's like a 3 to 5 minute video. That's it. And what you're doing is you're hooking and getting context, right? The breakthrough moment, like, hey, when was the breakthrough moment of working with us? Measurable results, right? People, and the impact, right? People don't remember what you said to them. They'll remember how you made them feel, right? Remember that. And then emotional and social proof, right? So activate the heart and third party validation. So what surprised? Now you're going to have to update this for them versus you, right? Because these are your notes, right? These are my notes. I'm doing this. Like, I want to know the purpose of this question, right? I'm giving you guys kind of like the backstage pass of knowing like the purpose of this question. Like, I'm activating the heart and third party validation with this question. What surprised you the most about working with me, right? And speaks to the fence sitters, reassures and inspires action, right? So these are all things that you want to kind of incorporate into the testimonial. So that's what you do first, all right? You shoot the video. Now you have an asset, is what we call it. And what do you do with it? So step number one is I would put it in a playlist on YouTube. So now before every listing appointment or every buyer appointment, you're going to send them that playlist and they're going to sit there and listen to. I mean, if you had 20 clients that you worked with last year, imagine having 20 video testimonials where they talked about how awesome you are. Like, there's no way that you don't keep that appointment. There's no way, absolutely no way that they say, well, actually, we're not going to work. We're not going to meet with you. They're going to at least keep the appointment. Okay. Like, they just heard 20 people talk about how awesome you were and it wasn't you. Right. So this getting that third party validation and you're hitting on different emotional, like, the reason why I like when you can be super niche, right? So if you're focused on high-end luxury sellers and you have a playlist of 20 high-end luxury sellers that are all talking about how awesome you are, these are usually CEOs, high net worth individuals, high up in a company, like all of those things. Like that's they're all gonna have different. They're all gonna have be different, but similar situations and similar feelings and emotions. And so those testimonials are really going to resonate, right? So you put it in a playlist and you send it before you meet with the client, right? Hey, go ahead and hey, this is, and you could put it on a landing page within Attract ROI and kind of have like a testimonial hero page with Google reviews and all that kind of stuff. So it can sit in an actual like site, which would be pretty cool. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to go and shoot a video of the house that you just sold, and you're going to overlay the testimonial pieces in it. And I did this with the cash offer, and it absolutely crushed it. And I ran an ad with this, and I ended up getting a $4 million listing from it. I ended up getting like so many people reaching out to me. I got another $1 million listing from it, and it was retargeting people who were interested in the cash offer with a testimonial type of ad. Right? It was me walking the property, talking about how we just sold it. And hey, you don't have to take my word for it. Go ahead and listen to my client. Right? And use that as an ad. And people are like, oh shoot, like this isn't just some fluff. This is the real deal. So I'm gonna play this and you can kind of see how it worked as an ad. Now I have it sitting on YouTube, but I ran it as an ad. We just closed on this house in Edgemont Ranch for $1 million cash for our client. Closed in 3 weeks, and it was easy. And she's going to share, Dr. Phillips is going to share her story about why she decided to go with the market value cash offer.
Very clear-cut process, very streamlined, and trouble-free. I say hindsight 2020, I wish I would have known about this possibility earlier.
And got to start zero showings, zero open houses. Didn't have to worry about all the things that come with listing your house. They just took it, and she got to move on to the next stages of life. So listen up, and why you should consider this. I'm going to give you my phone number so you can give me a call. My direct phone number is 97.
I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I leave it in the testimonial so you guys can, or in the notes so you guys can watch it. So I would consider this more of a VSL retargeting ad with a call to action and with layering in testimonial of video, right? And not just me. And so you can look at all the things that I did from it, and it did really, really well. So the next thing that I would do, right, with this is I would, since you shot it on Zoom, you're literally going to have the entire transcription, right? And so you're going to take that transcription that's transcribed. So all like everything, like all of our videos are transcribed, right? Every single video that we shoot here on Zoom, I could go ahead and get every single word that's said, and I can copy that once its video is done uploading. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that, and I'm gonna put it into our sales letter. Okay. So this is a long form sales letter. I'm gonna do it real quick, actually, so you guys can see how well it works. Let me do. I might be able to grab it on YouTube. So this works really well for grabbing transcriptions on YouTube. It can grab other people's too. So I use this for YouTube. Now, you guys don't need this app. What you need is just Zoom so you can copy the transcription. But this is more used for like other people's transcriptions. Like if let's say that, and the reason why you would do that, like let's say that there is a video that did very well, like performed really well of like a competitor or somebody in your niche, you would want to take that transcription and be able to knock it off basically, or take a be able to create your own twist on it. And so it's nice to be able to take. So I got this. Now I'm going to show you the bot. Now this is different because it's more attraction versus production, but it's the same concept. I think you guys will get it. So I just took the entire transcription. Hold up. Got the entire thing. It's not that long. Yeah, it's only 2 minutes. Okay. So your transcription is going to be like not super long, right? Because these are like 3 to 5 minute. And here's the thing, guys, like if for some reason like clients are long-winded and they want to talk about how great you are, don't stop them. Like if they're going to talk about how great you are and you're on there for 15, 20 minutes, like let that video play, because you can always you can always have it cut it up into sections, right? So my video with Dr. Phillips was probably about 6 to 7 minutes. And then I took pieces of it, right, and put it into the ad and made a completely different video. Okay. So, all right. So I'm going to say, please write me a long.
Hey, you're welcome, guys. Yeah, hang on 1 second.
Bam. So now it's going to take it and it's going to go ahead and write. So real estate agent turns $15 a day ads into 52,000 in closings. How one simple lead system produced multiple deals, forced him to turn ads off and left him scrambling to find more agents. Dear real estate agents, if you're grinding through cold leads, chasing referrals and never close, or watching your pipeline dry up between deals, you need to see what's just happened to one of the agents we quietly flipped the script. Who quietly flipped the script, because in the last month alone, he turned about $15 a day into ads into over 52,000 in commissions. Okay, so it writes this beautiful, super long form sales letter. Okay, so with that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the long form sales letter and I'm going to do 2 things with it. 1, I'm going to have it live kind of on its own. 2, I'm going to go ahead and put it into what I like to use Claude. It's a different, AI system. It's better for writing. So I like to use Claude, and I would say, hey, please take this long form sales letter. So I'll do it just so we can see. And Claude's free. You can use the paid version, but all of these have free versions. The bot that I give you guys for the long form sales letter is going to be awesome, and you don't need to pay for it. All right, so boom. Okay, and I'm going to say, please write this letter to my letter as if it was coming from Steve himself. Okay. So the whole point of this is you're going to have 2, right? You're going to have a long form sales letter, but you're also going to have as if Steve wrote this letter himself. And you can prompt Claude a little bit better. Like you could say, hey, pretend you're whatever author or whatever. Like you want it to be somewhat organic. You don't want it to be like too scripted. Like you don't want to be like, hey, you sound like you're Shakespeare or Kevin Hart, or like you want it to be definitely like somebody, like you want it to be like him, right? I'm gonna say first name, humble and grateful. So you can kind of pick. It kind of asks some questions because I didn't give enough information. So it's going to go ahead and rewrite it. And so after it rewrites this, you're going to go ahead and send it to your client. And I'm going to, like, if I was going to use Steve's, I would say, hey, Steve, is it all right if we go ahead and write this as if it was coming from you? And we send it to the 100 closest homes that are closest to you. And I'll go ahead and stamp it. I'll get it. All of it will be done. It'll be printed out. We'll have it all signed as if it was you and your wife. And we'll stamp it and we'll send it out on your behalf to the neighbors, right? And so what happens is everybody realizes like, oh shoot, like Steve and Angela sold their house, awesome. And now they're going to see the address, right? So they're going to recognize the address and they're going to open it because it's from their neighborhood. 2, if they've ever seen Steve walking his dog, like they're gonna know who the dude is, right? Or they may not know him, but they'll be like, I think that's the guy with the border collie, right? Or that's people in neighborhoods like this, like they know each other's dogs, they don't know each other's names. Sometimes they do, right? And so they're gonna at least open it, right? And so now you're getting a third party validation letter from the neighbor talking about how awesome you are in selling their house. Okay. So even if you did 100 of these or 150 of these and it's in the right neighborhood, you sold a house in the right neighborhood. Now this is going to be game changer. Now you have your Facebook ad running on retargeting. Baller. Okay. Now you have a letter that goes out on the seller's behalf to the neighbor. And this works for buyers too, right? Like, hey, because the truth is like they like, hey, I just wanted to welcome myself to the neighborhood, but I did want to write this letter. Kyle did ask me to write this, but all of it is true. Like you want it to be like, you don't want it to feel fake. You want to be like, hey, Kyle asked me to write this, and this is really because this is everything that they said. You just took it from a video and put it into writing. So it's not like you made it up. It's all everything that they said. And so that's awesome. Okay. So that's phase one. You have the retargeting ads running to the same neighborhood. Okay. You have the YouTube videos running as a playlist. Okay. The next thing that I would do is you can do two things. Okay. After about a week, you're going to send another letter, and this is going to be written from you, right? With an offer to that area. And you're going to say, hey, this is Kyle. I just sold the house for Steve and Angela, 123 Hickory Street, right down the road from you. They did send you a letter on my behalf, and I wanted to reach out personally because I would be rolling out. I like rocking the cash offer, right? That's just me. And so I would say, hey, we do have other buyers in the area who are looking to buy in your neighborhood, and they are cash. And so what I'd like to do is see if you would be open or anybody looking to make a move in the next 6 to 12 months, and we can get you pretty close to market value, close in 3 weeks, right? So you're writing a short letter to the point with an offer, adding value. You can leave your cell phone. This can be handwritten to make it a little bit more personable. You don't have to handwrite it. You can do one of those handwriting machines, right? And now you're real gangster. You just did a handwritten card to 150 of the most ideal clients, and now they're seeing your videos, testimonial. They already got a letter. Now you did a handwritten letter. Now you're going to get people reaching out to you, and this is awesome. And what I would do next is I would pull all of the data, and you can pull the data. You can go to your local title company and pull the data for free. There's other platforms where you can buy it. There's RedX. I got a link for RedX if you guys do decide to use it and use their data. You can at least give me an affiliate link for giving you guys such a great idea. Hopefully this will land you guys 100K this year alone if you actually execute it. So I'll leave that in the notes. But you can go to RedX and you can grab the data of that neighborhood, 150 people, and you can go through and just call them. And this would be a high leveraged activity because they've seen you, they've seen your ad, they got a letter from the neighbor, they got a personal handwritten letter from you, and now you're calling them and they see your YouTube video, right? And it just makes so much sense. And you're just like, hey, this is Kyle. I was just surveying the neighborhood. You may have seen that I sent you a letter talking about how we just sold 123 Hickory Street for Steve and Angela. Would love to go over how we could help you, right? Whatever are you guys you just survey them. Hey, do you know anybody looking to make a move in the next 6 to 12 months? That's basically what you would be doing. So that's the kind of the playbook on it. I would do those specific things. I'm giving you guys the testimonial links. I'm giving you guys, the idea of putting it in a playlist on YouTube. You would have a retargeting ad run to that neighborhood. You would run a sales letter. You would do a handwritten letter, and you would call. And if you did that with every single closing you had this year, there's no way you don't make a ton of money. There's just no way. Absolutely no way. Now, the only reason why you don't do this is 1, you're lazy. 2, you must know something better than I do. But to be able to work your ideal client profile in a neighborhood that you've already sold in and have them I mean, you could go back and do this with the last 20 clients. And I mean, the cost of doing this is basically you could run $5 a day on retargeting ads. That's like $150. Sales letter, how much do stamps cost and envelopes? I mean, maybe another $100. Handwritten letter, that might be the most expensive if you do a handwritten machine. Let's just call that $200. And then calling, that's just time. So all in all, $400, but you just made 15 grand when you sold a house. So why wouldn't you take at least $500 and reinvest it back into the neighborhood that you just sold in? Okay. And this is going to lead to so much business, not to mention just people actually referring you. And it's going to make everything else work better, period. Because they're going to see your new construction ads. They're going to see your YouTube. They're going to go to your channel, and then all of a sudden they're going to get hit with a pixel and see other offers, right? So it all kind of works together. But this is what I would do if I were in your market, right? And I would do it very specifically with the right clients. If you don't want to do it with all your clients, maybe some clients were off and you don't want other clients like that, then don't do it with them. But if you have like your ideal client profile and you're like, dude, selling that house, if I could sell 10 more of those, that'd be nice. Now I say this after every talk I do at the events, like the 72-hour rule. If you don't do anything in 72 hours, you won't do anything. And it's the same thing with this, right? You sat here for 45 minutes, heard a lot of good stuff. And if you don't put anything into action, at least as simple as, putting time in your calendar to schedule the time with your last closing or with your ideal client and calling them, that would be step one, right? Putting 30 minutes in the calendar to call all of your past clients and set up a video testimonial over the next week or two. And that's it. So that's what I would do. And then I'm going to drop the resources for you guys right now that I just went over. So it has the questions, has just some simple notes. And then the recording, I will make sure that you guys all get sent the recording from this. The Facebook ad retargeting, this just gives you an example of what my ad looked like. The sales letter, AI bot is in there, handwritten letter. You can do, let me see, machine, and then call RedX data. All right, let me grab the RedX data link, and then I'll drop the link for you guys. Share, let me make sure I can share this document, and then it has the testimonials in there, YouTube playlist, Facebook ad retargeting. And the cool thing is, guys, is like once you do this once, you're gonna, like, I would record the process, right? Because then you're building a clock, like you're being a clock builder, not a time teller. Use Loom and record process, like on the back end process, so that you don't have to do a lot of the stuff, right? Like you could shoot the video and then you could literally be like to your VA, to whoever is going to do it for you, right? Executive assistant, and say, hey, I recorded the process a few times with the first two clients. Go ahead and watch the recordings, but I just shot the video with Mark and Susie. Go ahead and take that and run the game, right? You could give it a call, like like if you were to playing football, and you would call it like run 67 Seattle, right? Or 60, like run the play, like that's it. Like run the testimonial playbook. That's it. And they would know exactly what to do. They would take the long form video, they'd put it on YouTube, they'd cut the short, they would retarget the neighborhood on Facebook. They would do the sales letter. They would send out the sales letter. They would get the handwritten all dialed in. I mean, they would literally do it all. They would grab the data from RedX and put it into your account, into your thing, and schedule time in your calendar to go and make calls on Tuesday for the next 90, for two back-to-back 90-minute session. Like, and then you don't have to, like, that's how you play. But if you get stuck doing all of it, then now that becomes a real pain. But if you do it once and you record the entire process on Loom, you'll never have to do it again. You'll just have to do what you're good at. Talk to your client. And appreciate you guys. And make sure you guys get signed up for Tampa. It's going to be good. I'm going to be in Phoenix this week on Thursday. I'm going to be in Scottsdale Thursday. Vegas, I'm going to be next week in Vegas on Wednesday. And yeah, that's where I'm going to be. So if you're there, I'd love to see you.